First thing I want to check, Anshu. I mean, you've been in sales like me for many decades,
Yeah.
and boom, there is a switch.
Yeah.
What happened, Anshu?
That almost sounded like what went wrong, Anshu? No, I think broadly there were two things. One, I was pretty much done with corporate life, and when I say that, I want to put a rider here saying that it is not one of those like they show in movies when you're disgruntled with corporate life. None of those. Okay, I was very happy doing work in corporate life. I used to enjoy work. I would laugh, joke even there. And obviously, with Microsoft, it was great fun. But I think personally, I was done. I was like, there is something that I need to do in life which should be bigger than just this. And parallelly, the other thing which has, I think, gone all through my life was this love for stage. This idea of holding a mic and talking to people and making them laugh. Not that I ever did comedy, but every time I would hold the mic and say something, I tried to be funny always, even in corporate environments. And it was just a factor of those. And then finally, there was a tipping point where I said, hey, I don't want to be like 70 years old, look back at life and say in this era, the phase we are in is very different, right? You can follow your passions if you want to, and you can make a living out of it. So I said, let's not have any regret. So then I just quit, and I was like, okay, let's do comedy.
Beautiful. And it's wonderful. I mean, the world is starved of humor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's getting serious, and COVID actually made people even more serious.
Yeah.
How did
I think the world
COVID
needs laughter. Yeah.
transform Anshu?
Sorry?
How did COVID transform Anshu?
Well, a lot of the things that we used to learn or care about in corporate life, sometimes even practice, kind of came into play. One would think that all these trainings and thinking out of the box and all that jargons that we use in corporate life would never help you. But it did, because when COVID happened, for us, the whole format was live shows, right? Having the audience right in front of you, and you're telling the jokes on stage and they're laughing and you're getting a live feedback immediately.
Correct.
And for the first few weeks, it almost felt like end of career. It was as drastic as that. And, I used to speak to a lot of other comedians, and we were like, hey, if live shows won't happen, and it looked like it won't happen for a long, long time. And we were like, this is it. This is over for us. Like, it's like you've taken an instrument from us while we wanted to play music. So now we can't.
Wow.
And then this whole corporate thing came in. Say, no, there has to be a better way. There has to be some way in which we can do this. So I jumped into doing online shows.
Beautiful.
And that's where I bought these mics and all these things. And I said, hey, let's give it a shot. Like, if the world has changed, so would comedy, I guess. And it worked. It worked. Different format. It took a little bit of time getting used to this whole idea of performing to a laptop. But it did, I think. Yeah. But it did. In the last 18, 19 months, I would have done close to about 200 shows. Yeah. So it's kind of this whole thing that don't give up. There's always a way. Try, fail, get back again, see what works, build on it. I think all those things came into play.
Absolutely. And when you're into something like this, Anshu, sometimes you tend to be alone.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of support mechanisms did you build?
See, this is one thing I've realized about the art that I'm in, right? Which is stand-up comedy. It's a very lonely job, per se. And I say that because, there is this whole razzmatazz of being on stage with spotlights and fans and selfies and stuff and all that thing that goes along with it, which is fine. But that normally happens for 1-2 hours in a day. Right? And only when you're going for the show. Rest of it is you're just sitting alone because you're writing most of the time, you're observing the world, you're thinking of jokes. All of that is fairly lonely job. The support system that really works for people like us, and when I say people like us, largely comedians, is somebody giving us a reality check. And that happens in my family very often, like because all of these things kind of get into your head when people come and take selfies, and you think you've become a very big star and all those things, and that always affects art, because art, you need to be really true to yourself, and they give a reality check. So so that kind of really helped, and especially when COVID came in, things were falling apart so dramatically. Every attempt was like, yeah, let's do it, let's see what happens, let's do online shows, let's try this, let's build, let's record from your phone and put up videos, all of those things. I think the family kind of always kept pushing.
Absolutely. And trust the wife to show you the mirror is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. She shows it to me like 100 times in a day.
Very nice. Very nice.